I think Katlego Mashego's done tremendously well over the last couple of weeks. He's scoring goals, he's playing well, he's doing a good job, and I think he can add a lot of value. First of all, this game against Zambia is very important. In actual fact, every game we play is very, very important. We've got the whole nation wanting us to win games, and as I said, there's a juggling act has to be done now. Previously, most of that has been done now. In the last 4 games we've done all that. This game as well, as I said, we've got about 80% of the squad, but this game is obviously very, very important, leading up now to the start of the African Cup of Nations. Andile Jali is out for 3 weeks. And I got the report this morning from his doctor. He had a scan and he's out for 3 weeks. I did consider him for this call-up. I'll be honest with you, I was very impressed with Jali yesterday. He was playing in a much more forward position. As I said before, if I've got 5 right backs, I'm only going to choose the one to play there. I'm not going to create a position at left back for another one and centre back for another one if he's a right back. Andile Jali was playing as a defensive holding midfield player. I think Dean Furman and Ngcongca has done tremendously well there. I think there's other players that might be ahead of him in that position. But what I saw yesterday, he was getting forward. He showed a lot of character, and that's what you need in this national team. He showed a lot of character. He carried an injury for about 18 minutes in the second half because Roger had made his changes, but he soldiered on, and that's impressed me. I like to have players with character, and he showed he's got that character. When he went to take that penalty, he was injured, but he still had the courage to say, I'll take a penalty here. And that I like that in a player. And I think Andile Jali has just been working very, very hard, and I'm happy with that. But what impressed me the most was, obviously, after I've had talks, I talk with coaches all the time, and I spoke to Roger about why he's not in the team and so on and so forth. And I see that he played in a much more forward position. And he looked good there. He looked impressive. He's a good player. We all know that. But he was in my squad. I can tell you that right now. He was in the squad for this game against Zambia. The report came back to me this morning that he's going to be out for 3 weeks. He had a scan and he's got a bad knee. For me, Steven Pienaar has been a great ambassador for South African football. He was the captain of our national team. He gave us 10 years of service in this country, okay? There were lots of things said about Steven Pienaar previously, lots of criticism, lots of issues about the captaincy. People thought he shouldn't be the captain because he wasn't giving his best, all these kind of things. And I think it's very, very important he is one of our own. He's a South African. He's a great player, a great ambassador to our country. I am the national team coach, and I think I owe it to him to be respectful, to go and have a cup of coffee with him. And whatever we talk about, I'm sure we're going to talk about why he's retired and how he felt about it, what a difficult decision this was. But we have got to remember that we're all human beings. And Steven Pienaar, I don't think we should turn our back on him. I don't think he necessarily turned his back on South Africa. I think Steven Pienaar had to make a very tough decision, based obviously what maybe his club thought, maybe being away for 6 weeks, maybe what he said, his body is very, very tired. And I just think as a human being, I owe him that courtesy and that respect to have a cup of coffee with him. He's given us a good 10 years and we should respect that. And as I say, who knows where the conversation is going to go. The door's not closed for anybody. But I'm not going to go there and say, Stephen, I've come to ask you, please come and play. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sit down with him like a man-to-man, have a chat with him and talk about the things I've just spoken to you about. I think we owe him that courtesy. And the main reason I'm going to England is because of the short time that we have to prepare the team for the African Cup of Nations. I'm going to try and negotiate with the managers, not only in England. I'm going to be going to Belgium, I'm going to be going to Holland, I'm going to be going to Greece, to discuss and build up a relationship with the managers and see if I'm able to get these players maybe a week early, because some of them do play on the 25th of December and games on 26th of December. And maybe these clubs might say, okay, this player might not have to play this game and I'll release him 4 days early, whatever the case may be. I think it's very, very important to negotiate and to have a relationship with these managers, because somewhere down the line, that manager is going to come to me and say, listen, we've got a very, very important cup game and you're playing against a certain team. Would you mind leaving this player out for this game? So we'll try and look after each other, but I think it's very important to have this kind of relationship. Of course, I'm going to be seeing the players there. I'm going to be seeing David Sommer as well. I've spoken to him on the phone. He's back in training now. A couple of other players. You'll probably get a chance. I hope we'll see. I haven't made up my mind yet. I think it was very important for me to bring in Darren Keat. I've given all the goalkeepers an opportunity. I've given Monib, I've given Wayne Sanderlands, I've given Kune a chance. Darren Keat, from what I've seen and what I've heard and the inquiries I've made, is playing very, very good football at the moment. He's been man of the match on several occasions. He's been player of the year, So, as I said, time restraints. I haven't had the time previously, but this is a great opportunity. There's only one game. It's not like we've got 2 games like previously. We've got 1 game, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to see him on the training field. I've got a great goalkeeper coach who will give me a good report on how he works, and I will see myself, and hopefully we get him a chance to play as I have considered him. I've looked at the situation, but as I say, I've got a plan ahead of me. On the 22nd, it's only going to be locally based players playing. That's going to give an opportunity for me to call a couple of those players, and if I can get two of those players who aren't locally based, so they're not busy, to give them an opportunity as well. But as I say, it's very tough. There's a lot of players at the moment are putting their hand up and saying, I want to be involved. And I think you can see by the squad, it's a very well balanced, and each squad looks like it's getting stronger and stronger. You can see this taking shape, and I'm very fully aware of Pitosi's what he's doing at the moment. I know exactly that he's scoring goals, and he scored his last 3 games, and how he's playing. I'm fully aware of it, but I'm also fully aware of the other players. And it's a very similar situation to Darren Keat. The first 3 or 4 games, I had to look at the other 3 goalkeepers. Darren's got his opportunity now, and who knows, maybe next time Pitosi might get his chance. There's no mistaking that there's certain players in that group that I mentioned earlier on. I mean, Serero, Dalen Klaasen, Kaka, McCarthy, David Sommer, Katlego Mashego, David Matibula. These are quality players, and they actually got a tough race against time to get themselves into a condition that they are playing for their teams. Of all those players now, Serero is back in training. Dalen Klaasen is back in training. I spoke to Gaka the other day, and his manager, and he's going to start playing again soon. David Sommer is hopefully going to start playing his first game for Leeds this coming weekend. Katlego Mashego is back in training. He might be getting a shout very soon. And, of course, Matibula is starting to play again. So there's already, I think, 7 players that we know are very, very good players. But the problem that they've got is they've got they're over their injuries right now, which I'm very happy to hear. They're all over their injuries. But what they have to do now is they have to demand and command a place in their starting 11 for their teams. And once they've done that, they've got to start playing well for their teams. They've got to find the form that's got them the recognition to be where they are right now. It doesn't mean because they're over their injury and they're starting to play next week that they're going to be selected. They've got to play at least 3, 4, 5, 6 games continuously, regularly in their team, so there's no repercussions with the injuries. But more importantly, they've got to be playing well. Sometimes a player, like for example David Sommer, is back now, but he might not have anywhere near the form that he needs to have to play for Bafana Bafana. Maybe it's going to take him another 3 months or 4 months to find that form. And that goes for everybody else that I've mentioned there.